eh? Jamison. May see you.
Let's count on. Welcome back to Two Dads and a Mic.
He said it. We're getting some beverages, but Mark will do his intro. We'll see he's up there.
Still got the bag of piss in there.
Where? Oh yeah, I still do. All right, let's go, guys. Welcome.
Yeah.
Well, I'll let Mark do his intro with his alcohol, but welcome, guys. Welcome to Two Dads and a Mic, and welcome to another podcast.
Welcome back. We have tonight. We have some Jameson and out of it. Jameson Irish whiskey and cola, 6.3%. And I have the with the dry and lime, which is also a nice.
Yeah, I got the cola.
I think we had that for my birthday the other week.
Yeah, and what do you always say before we get to your birthday? We always say he wants a sponsor.
Oh, yes. Please, Jameson, if you're out there, sponsor the show. Anybody? That'll be great.
Done. Well, let's crack it open. Cheers.
Oh,
listen to that noise.
Sound of happiness. Right
yeah.
there.
Well, cheers anyway. You're supposed to say cheers then drink, but
Yeah, sorry. I got excited. That's good. I like
bad.
that.
It's not bad. It's a little bit on the flat side for me. I was expecting a bit more of an alcohol taste. Maybe I'm used to more of the bourbons.
You're just an alcoholic, mate.
Yeah, that too.
6.3%, buddy.
But I will say before we kick off tonight's podcast, I will say happy birthday to all the viewers out there that are watching. Mark did turn the big 50, the big 50. So welcome to the 50 club. And how do you feel? Do you feel older, younger? Anything changed? You woken up with more aches and pains, or sore knee,
that's
or
just standard. That's
standard
these days. But I was a little bit. A couple of days before it actually happened, I don't know. I just got this whole thing like.
what, down in the dumps, or
I was
just
kind of like, dude,
because it's
like,
coming to that.
It's like 50. I've never thought of myself as being 50.
So I wonder if it's well. Yeah, I'm looking back when I had turned 50, like if I kind of felt like that. I don't know if it's the what is the right word behind the number 50 that everyone puts that thing on, or you're getting older and you kind of start to worry, or
well, you start to realise that you are getting older, and like as long we are young at heart,
yeah,
right, and we're always joking around, but I don't see myself. You know, back in the day when you said someone was 50, you think, fuck, this guy's old, man. But now that you're at that stage, you kind of go, yeah, I've got the aches and pains, dude. Yeah, and I'm kind of like, I'm at that age, yes, I get it. But I don't feel like in my head that I'm 50.
yeah, I guess because it'd be the same when we were at a younger age and our folks were 50. Not that I kind of really remember, what they look like at 50, or like, but as in hanging out with your parents, like I feel like yourself, like we feel that 50 where we feel a bit younger, where our kids want to hang out with us.
We're still cool.
Yeah,
I think we're still cool.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
It's true.
They might think, but I know from my kids' mates and friends, we are a cooler 50. And I think the generation that's gone before us, like our parents, they were a lot older than.
Yeah, I guess it's keeping up with the times, whether like, it is the fashion.
You look at photos of your parents at 50, and you look at yourself and you go,
where they had the big porno moustache and the jumper on that was full of fluff.
I reckon we look good. We're two good-looking roosters at 50.
Thanks, buddy. Yeah, you look pretty good for 50. So, but yeah, I think, touching on it again, maybe that thing, like you start to worry when you get 50, but it's time for a prostate and a check and
look at our mate. He loves the prostate check.
That's right. Yeah,
he's been going back.
Justin,
every month, man.
Yeah,
you know
that's
what I mean?
right.
He just loves it. I don't know if he's got a thing for.
He always loses his watch and stuff like that.
I don't know, man, but he just loves it.
He does.
He keeps talking.
So these are the fun things, guys. When you turn the big 50, all the fun things you got to look forward to. But happy birthday! We ran it on a bit. Happy birthday!
Kind of leads me into the topic I wanted to talk about tonight. So I know last time we had that topic, which was about a month ago now or something, we had that.
Yeah, it has been a little bit long.
We've had a couple of cancellations. We're still waiting on
two special guests to come on the
guests to come on. My friend did apologise profusely that he was unfortunately couldn't make it tonight, which is fine. Last time
because we also thought about putting a balaclava over him and changing his voice.
It would have
but
been.
I guess due to circumstances, he couldn't make it.
He couldn't make
personal circumstances.
Yeah, so
we'll respect those wishes.
And talking last time about a little bit of conspiracy theory, I think threw our listeners off a little bit and went, "Oh, what's going on there?" You know what I mean? Cause
in regards to the pyramids, flat Earth,
moon
landing,
all that exciting stuff for us.
No, it was good.
I kind of threw them off. So I thought tonight,
get back on track.
Get back onto where we know a bit more about stuff. But I wanted to touch on the topic of being at our age now. If you were to date, would you be going for someone close to our age? Because there's probably listeners out there that are our age and they're in the dating game. Do they go for someone younger? They go for someone their age?
It is an interesting, too much alcohol topic because that's right. It could be someone our age, at the age of 50.
Yeah.
Could be the other way around. Could be someone super, could be a female that's super young or a male that's super old.
Yeah.
That sugar daddy sort of kind of scene. There's a lot of variables that go into it.
Yeah. So I was kind of thinking, what happens? For me personally, I didn't want someone that was mid-30s.
Yeah.
Simply because I know what's going to happen. And as you're older, you kind of work that shit out. You know that, hey, if I go for someone younger, she's going to want a family if she hasn't had a family already. Even if she has one or two kids, there's always that possibility if she's still able to conceive, and she'll want to have a kid with you.
Yeah.
Now, I've had a couple of mates that have older and have had kids, and they're young at heart.
Yeah.
But I mean, for me personally, I didn't want any more kids.
Yeah.
So it kind of takes that out of the bracket, right? That age group. But also, I haven't had the snip. I don't know if you have or not, but I haven't had it. So there was always that running the gauntlet of running that risk of, hey man, I could be a dad again.
Yeah.
So it was just an interesting way of kind of seeing things as a new, looking for that new partner.
Yeah.
I don't know about yourself, if you were thinking the same, could you have another kid? Would it be something you probably didn't entertain that idea going into dating women?
Yeah.
But would you consider having
another child?
Does that base your? What I'm trying to say is, your age group that you're looking at, was that in the back of your mind subconsciously? Hey, if I found a hot chick at 30, would I go again and have a kid?
Yeah, no, it's true. And again, I'll open it up and say it is an interesting topic because, for me, no, I wouldn't. I wouldn't want to, find someone younger or someone in that 40 age bracket that wants to have a kid. I personally don't want to have kids anymore. I've got two beautiful kids, they're healthy kids. I'm done for. Yes, I have had, to answer your question, I have had the snip. So for me, it's out of the question. There are, stories out there. It can be reversed, and I'm sure it can be. But I can tell you now, I don't want to be on the table getting a reverse, snip and whatnot. I just couldn't do it. But I guess if there is a female that is, in that 30 age bracket or 40, whatever it may be, and for them, they might never have had a kid before, and they really love this man, or vice versa. And their dream is to have a child with a male,
someone that they
love.
Yeah.
So I do see both sides of the story, and I guess it's kind of sad in a way because one really wants a child and one may not. So, and that would be the same for us if it's no for us and you had met someone and they really wanted a child. It could be a deal breaker.
Absolutely. That's the kind of the whole point I'm making. Like you've come through the other side, right? You're happy with your life and you're having the best time. And then you meet this girl and you just go, wow, like she's the one.
Yeah.
But then she says after, I don't know, 6 months, a year, hey, how cool would our kids look if we had a kid together? Fucking really?
Yeah.
Like that's a deal breaker and a half. That's like
panic stations.
Well, do I let this girl go because she needs to find another man to have this life with his family?
Yeah.
Or do I go through that?
So do you think it becomes like age is a factor into it? Like,
yeah,
because I'm sure, like there's other people out there that have had children from a previous marriage and, they've met a new partner and they've had kids again and good on them. Like, I reckon it's awesome. You know what I mean? If that's
absolutely.
what you want. No, same. I'm not knocking it as well. I guess, for me personally, it was the same when I had met my partner. You start talking, whether it was about the snip. And I remember, saying, I can't have kids anymore. And, I've got 2 beautiful kids and same with her.
Mm-hmm.
But then you do kind of think where, great person, you meet someone and they could all turn around and say, well, you've had the snip, but I really want to have, I want to have kids, in the next year or so. And it can be...
Would you have it reversed? That's the kind of situation you're put in.
Yeah.
And you kind of go, I didn't want any, but then if I don't have a kid with this chick, she's going to leave me. And then you kind of it's just a mental torment. You're just like, what do I do?
Yeah. Again, I think for me, like, as you get older in your life, you kind of know what you want, where you're wanting to go.
Yeah.
Your destination and all the rest. And not so much I'm headstrong. For me, like I couldn't reverse it. I couldn't do it because, I'm a man. I've made up my mind, and it'd be straight out no for me. And it's not been disrespectful to my partner or someone. It was something that I don't think I could go down that path again. And it's nothing against raising kids and going through that whole thing again of getting the milk out, the nappies.
But we've done that.
Yeah,
we've been there, done that. It's kind of like. But I just look at it, sometimes I think about...
It is interesting.
Imagine being in that situation where... Actually, I have been in that situation. But I'm just saying, where do you go from there? Do you go...
It's over, it's done.
Is it done? Or we stay together and hopefully the feelings pass and then... But then there could be that regret later on where you kind of go...
Yeah, you can put a strain on the relationship because, maybe one didn't speak up about it or one, someone didn't say anything about it and, the conversation wasn't spoken about properly and then they could put divide between a relationship.
I think if it's not sorted out then and there, I think it's just going to be an underlying issue that we're going to come up years to come. But I think about it. I wouldn't say constantly, but I do think about there's guys out there that have... that are having their fun, but it's kind of like at what age do you say, like when I met my partner, she's got 2 kids. I've got 2 kids. That's fine. We both agreed that there was no more kids after that. But I'm saying if you go for a partner that doesn't have a kid and is a lot younger than yourself, you've got to be ready for that sort of commitment. That there's a possibility that I'm going to have more kids. I'm going to have to have more kids with this girl, and hopefully things work out.
Well, if you think about it, we do have a close friend that was in the same situation. I won't mention his name. It wasn't too long ago. We had seen him, and he's had kids from a previous marriage, his age bracket is a little bit older than me and Mark, and good on him because he had 2 beautiful, healthy kids in his new life, in his new marriage, and he's all up for doing the nappy change.
I forgot about that.
You seen it because I had his daughter in my arms and he was over the moon. So, look, at the end of the day, it can work, and there's the people that like they might start off and say, we've got to get a pet and see how things go, whether it's a dog or a cat.
One of those ones. Yeah.
And then I guess there's a flip side. There's also the other side of it as well too, where where one person can't conceive, like one person. There's a lot of variables that go into it, where 100%. two people love each other, and then they one can't obviously fall pregnant, or there might be a problem or something like that, and it's I guess it's one of those things that you learn to live with. And I guess if you really care about each other or love each other, that you're going to kind of.
It's funny though, because I've got a mate too that him and his ex-wife tried for years to have kids, and they went to the doctors, they went this, they went that.
Yeah.
They ended up divorcing. He met someone else. He's got 2 beautiful boys.
Yeah.
It's funny how
things happen for a reason too.
Yeah, it's like the universe was saying that you two, as much as you love each other and you're in love and you're married and all the rest of it,
weren't for each other.
You weren't for each other.
Yeah.
You two were not meant to have children.
Pardon me. Yeah, it's true.
Together. It's a funny old thing.
But yeah, I guess in this day and age, again, like we've spoken about before, with dating and Tinder and all that, Bumble and all those things out there. Like, I'm sure it's maybe more spoken about in this day and age. Whether it's about having kids in an earlier stage.
It's a conversation that comes up a lot earlier in the dating scene, which is good. Like people are having that discussion. And
it would have been, like a different scenario for me and you. Like, we got married younger, and you always knew that you wanted to. Whether it was a discussion about having kids, like it got mentioned, and that you wanted to start a family. So,
but that always came from like the parents as well. When are you two going to have kids?
Pressure.
When am I going to be a grandparent? Yada yada yada. That sort of stuff.
There is that pressure. Yeah.
As we get older, it's like another thing I didn't want a young girl because there's nothing to relate to.
Yeah.
Some of them are just like they haven't lived their life yet. And it's kind of like, I don't want to be going out to clubs. I don't want to be partying anymore. I did all my partying. So it's like, it's one of those things you want to have in common as well. So you've got to find that balance of what you're actually after. And it takes a bit of time.
It does.
It's not something you can go, this is what I want. I'm going to look at the age groups between 25 and 45. Babe, that's a big difference, bro.
I guess going for someone that young, you'll be like, I'll be sweet. She won't want to have kids. We'll be.
Yeah, but even having a conversation, like, you might throw a line in, like, say, MacGyver, and she'll be like, who's MacGyver? Yeah. Or, talk about the Flintstones, or,
I guess, that the age thing, you got your routine, whether it's a certain time you like to get to bed, what type of work you do.
It's all that sort of stuff.
They might want to be partying till 3 o'clock in the morning or whatever it may be.
That's right.
Don't get us wrong, we love a good drink and a good party and a good time as well.
But we don't have the energy anymore.
Yeah.
We're out for about 3 days going, oh my God, how bad was it?
So did you notice that as soon as you turned 50, you were like out cold snoring?
No, I was like that a long time ago.
Have you got the breathing apparatus machine when you go to sleep? We're going to put the... your partner finds it attractive.
My
like Darth Vader.
She loves it.
I've heard you snoring. Don't worry about that.
Just shut up, will you?
So they're the things that you look forward to when you turn 50. You're going shopping for a breathing apparatus machine.
Yeah, absolutely. Just stop my snoring. 100%. Like, how good is life? I'm never going to see the doctor as much as I'm going to see him.
That's so many visits per year. But I guess, look, definitely the same for me, touching back on that. Like, for me to have met someone, they said, hey, I want to have a child with you. Whether by me saying, oh, look, I've had the snip, that could have scared them off as well too.
Yeah, 100%.
Or it could have been forced by saying, you got to have the reverse of it, and if you want to be with me, it does again throw a lot of spinballs and whatnot into it, because I guess it makes it interesting. Like, Do you want to commit? Do you want to have a kid? So there's a lot there to consider.
There's a lot. There's a lot there, and there's a lot like next year I'll be moving in with my partner and her kids.
Yeah.
So that's another thing that I kind of go, okay, no one really talks about the blended family and how it all works.
Yeah, that's right, because that's another, I don't mean to cut you in.
Another part of dating, basically.
Well, that's right, because if you're not having kids, whether it's again with your new partner, then there's that saying, then there's blended families, and
that's right.
Whether you're moving in, into a place together, and then it's getting used to
everyone's routine.
Yeah, everyone's routine,
routine. It's like I'm trying to get mentally prepared for it now.
Yeah.
I know it sounds probably silly to the people out there, but you got to understand, I was 6 years, just me and the two kids. So, and she's been the same. She's probably 7 years with her and the two girls.
Yeah.
So it's a question of like, there's an excitement bit.
Yeah.
Because I get to see her every day now. But at the same time, it's like, how is this going to work?
Yeah.
Maybe am I overthinking it? I do have a habit of doing that.
Yeah, so do I.
But how does it all work?
Yeah.
How do we make it work?
Yeah.
Because the age groups are a little bit different. My daughter's 18. She's driving. She's out. She doesn't party or anything, but she's out.
Yeah, she's got her own life. She might be
So
coming home a little bit later.
So what happens with the dynamics when you got me, who loves to go to bed early, my partner, same.
Yeah, that's right. You guys
The
both
two
work
younger
full-time
girls,
jobs.
same.
You've got a routine.
But then my son likes to stay up late. My daughter comes home late. So how does that all work together?
It is interesting. Like it is. That's right, because you got to think your daughter might be coming home late. Your son's in the room playing PlayStation. You guys are fast asleep from a hard day at work. The other two might be up, and then
noises.
Noises that throws a lot of curveballs and whatnot. And then if you say arc up, to your daughter saying, what time do you call this your home and that, and then your partner looks at you, what's going on here? It does. It is. I wouldn't say hard or that word tough times ahead, but it does.
It's going to be challenging.
Yeah.
It's going to be challenging. It's a challenge that together, if we communicate and we all sit the kids down, and say, listen, okay, we're all in this together.
Yeah,
we've got to make this work.
Yeah,
and do the best we can. But I'm just thinking, there's some stories that you hear where, some guys have moved in straight away with the chick and her family, or the girls live with the guy. You know what I mean? It's like, how does that all work? How does that all work straight off the bat? Like, I don't get it.
Yeah,
like for me, it's taken me 6 years. It'll probably be close to 7 by the time I do it.
Yeah,
because I'm used to my routine.
Yeah. Yeah, it is hard. Obviously, routine, not only routine habit for you and for myself and anyone else out there is, having, you like your own space, having, things a certain way. You might leave your toothbrush on this corner, and then, look, it was the same for me. I'm in that same scenario. I've got my partner in my life. We live together. I've got my daughter with me full time. And I'm sure there's been times where I have to, pull my daughter up on certain things, what time do you call this? And, you kind of find yourself in whether it's caught in your new life, and, that you might be, whether it's called yelling, or you might be showing a different side of you that your partner has never seen before. And then it's kind of like, oh shit, was that, I wonder what she thinks, like it does. It tests you in different ways, it is good because that means you guys are growing as a couple as well too. And it'd be the same when I'm sure it's going to come a time when my partner's daughter, she's going to move in as well too. So there'll be the four of us, and it changes the dynamics. And then when my daughter comes down to visit from Queensland and stays with us here, it is nice. Like there's the good side of it where there's that blended family
and everyone's together.
Everyone's together. You are having dinner and whatnot. But I think I think, is communication. You know, it's noting those things out, and I guess not, you know, trying to fill each other's head with too much toxic stuff, like by saying, you know, your son did this, and like, or your daughter had done that, and you know, and it does happen. Like, you kind of, I guess the best thing to do is speak up about it, because
bring it to the table, don't bury it.
because otherwise you're going to boil inside if, you know, if someone's done something wrong, and but yeah, drop us a comment, guys, in regards to that. You know, like any ideas for Mark or myself, or how you guys handled a similar kind of situation, whether, you know, it was dating someone younger that wanted to have a child and you had the snip, or you guys are a blended family.
Yeah. It's just, it's just those things that I've been thinking about lately. It's just, just the little thoughts, and, you know, I've got plenty of time to think while I'm driving, so...
Yeah, and that's it, because it's true, you never stop learning, and this is a new, it's going to be a new journey for you, something different that, even though you had experienced it, you know, in your old marriage and your old life or whatever, but this is, what's the word, a new light.
It's a new beginning. It's like, I don't want to make, I suppose subconsciously, I don't want to make the same mistakes I made before.
Yeah.
So...
I hear you. Yeah,
you know what I mean? It's like...
You're cautious of it. You think about it.
Yeah, like I want to be more present for everyone in the family. Yeah. It's not just my partner. I want to be there for her daughters. I want to be there for my son. I want to be there for my daughter. And just be a bit more present in their lives. And as we're getting older, and they're obviously getting older, your responsibilities, so to speak, as a father, kind of drifts off.
Yeah.
Like, you know, when your daughter got her license, when my daughter got her license, we don't see him.
No. They're always out and about.
We don't see him. So therefore, there's no need for, Dad, can you come pick me up? Dad, can you do this for me, Dad?
Yeah, it gets kind of sad a little bit. Like, you kind of feel a bit, not so much like left out anymore, but you do miss them, because...
It's like you're not wanted anymore. Yeah. Like, you've served your purpose.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah.
And
all of a sudden it's just
lucky for me, like, her daughters are still young, and my son's still young, and I can still be a part of their lives, and, you know, go watch their games, and go, you know, be a part of it. But I'm saying there's going to come a time where
you're all together under the one roof,
but they're all going to grow up, and they won't need us anymore.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like, if I can build that structure now, as in saying that, as in moving in and getting that family unit together, and getting everyone understands this is the rules of the house, this is how we live, and all the rest of it. I think it builds a stronger unit once they get a bit older and move on.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that they'll move on and move out. the way rentals are at the moment, they're going to be with me for the next fucking 20 years. But I think it's that they're all the kind of things that are going on in my head. Where it's kind of like, I don't want to, I'd not say fuck up. I didn't really fuck up. I just wasn't there. I was too busy working.
Yeah, no, I get what you're saying, because you said that word where you don't want to make the same mistake, and I, you know, think that, you know, thought the same thing as well too. You don't want to do what you did in your, not so much in your previous life, but you want to be more present, and you want to be living under a happy roof.
You want to be a better version of yourself.
Yeah, you just want, you know, peace, and just, you know, come home, hang your hat, have your dinner, and you know, and you know, it's not going to always be like that. There's always something going on, whether it's, you know, whatever it may be. But I guess, you know, if you kind of sit down and nut out, you know, what the problem might be, and kind of
talk about it, and just be calm, and you know, like we normally are. Yeah, so that's what I've been thinking about lately.
Yeah. You know. Yeah, no, because I've, you know, it's coming for you, like it's going to happen soon. And
it needs to happen.
It needs to happen. That's right, because I'm at that stage where, me and my partner have been living together for a while now, and my daughter moved down, and it did change the dynamics a little bit, because it was just the two of us living together, and then my daughter moved in, and I guess for me now, like how the dynamics are, like if I wouldn't have it any other way. Like me and my daughter have blended and had an amazing relationship since.
Yeah.
You know, I've been back down here, and you know, I kind of look at it now. I wouldn't have it any other way, and then get excited when my youngest is coming down, and I'm sure it's the same for my partner. She can't wait until her daughter moves in. Till there's like a click, and it is nice, and you want your your partner to have the same.
Oh, of course.
As what you know
of
what
course.
I mean. It should be it should be the same. Should be fair. And it is important. So, I was the same as you. Like you kind of worry and all that type of stuff. But I guess it does work itself out, and have a little bit of faith. And
I know it will. It's just I can't help but thinking, and you think about it, and you just want to make it. You want to make it right. Like you want to make it. So everyone's happy.
Yeah.
And that's probably a trait of mine that I always try and make people happy.
Yeah.
If I forget about myself sometimes.
Yeah, I guess you've got to sometimes just take a step back and, just breathe and have a look around you and sometimes, you can't fix everything.
That's
and
right.
You know me, you've known me a long time, and I'm one of the same, like a people pleaser where you want to try to, help everyone else, and sometimes you do end up forgetting about yourself, and then you get the shits.
Yeah.
And it's the same with me, finding that routine, that rhythm. It was the same when we moved in and with my daughter, where before I had ample time by myself.
Yeah.
And then you find yourself, whether you're lacking going for your walk, going to the gym, exercising, eating right, and then you kind of think, oh shit, but I've got to get out on the beaten track and start running again. And it does.
You don't want to lose yourself.
Yeah.
You don't want to lose
because
yourself.
I had a lot of time where I was, by myself, and it was good because I got to know, who I was and all that stuff, and spend time on yourself. And you got to keep doing that. From my take from this, I'd say you got to keep doing Mark.
Yeah.
And that's something that you've always drummed into me as well, and I'd say the same back to you. You got to keep doing that, because you do sometimes need your own space, and it'd be the same for me. I might, if we've watched a few shows on, streaming and whatnot, and then sometimes I want my time, and whether it's coming up here and doing some editing, doing our podcast, might be playing the PlayStation or going for a run. You got to have that time, and then you kind of find yourself. Blending again as a couple, and it just kind of makes
it makes it work.
A bit more clarity.
Yeah, I've noticed I've kind of lost myself in the last couple of months.
Yeah,
I haven't done anything for myself. Like, don't get me wrong. Like, I still play soccer. I still go to training. I still go watch the kids play sport. But it's like, for me. So I took the dog for a walk the other night. And in my head, I'm thinking, I'm doing this for me. I need to get out and walk. And I was like, no, I don't.
Yeah.
I do a lot of fucking walking all day. But I did it for my dog.
Yeah.
Because it's been raining, and he was just so happy to see me. I just thought, man, let me do something for you to make you happy.
Yeah.
And I went, fucking, okay. But, like, I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
And it's like jumping on the bike.
Yeah.
Like, jumping on my bike.
That's right. We haven't ridden in a while as well, too, with the bad rain, the weather we've had. Yeah, it's
so different, man.
It's better than any medication, and that freedom. And that's what they say, guys or girls that ride their motorcycles say, that the amount of stress that it does relieve, and you feel great when you come back, like you've had a good ride. And it might be only a 10-minute ride for us, where we're meeting up for breakfast, or that.
It's 10 minutes, if that. Yeah. But I'll jump on it, and it's like all the stuff you don't think.
Yeah.
When you got that helmet on, you're just focused on the bike, and the road, and staying alive.
Don't die.
Yeah, that's right. Like, is this digger going to come outside?
So many senses in your head, in your brain, in your head, in your body.
Yeah, where you said where you're driving, I can be driving and it'd be like...
You're asleep.
Like, I'm thinking about 30 other million things in my head. But when I jump on that bike... you just go, and it's you and the road, and you're just like, fuck, man, it's the best feeling.
Yeah.
And I haven't done that much.
No, same.
Like, I might do it once a week for 10 minutes here, 10 minutes back. But just jumping on it and going for a half an hour, 1 hour ride, bro, it changes your whole mindset.
Yeah.
You come back just thinking, wow,
What a massive difference.
you know.
So yes, I guess maybe for the viewers out there, that's something to take away for yourself as well too. You know, like we just said, time for yourself, whether it is jumping on your bicycle, motorcycle, just that de-stress, right?
Yeah,
It plays a massive part. But yeah, I guess maybe you know, I felt a little bit like what you were saying, like the same. I reckon a lot of it's got to do with, you know, when your kids get to that age and they're, you know, they're starting their own lives. And it could be a simple little thing like by getting their own license, their driver's license, and you feel like you're not needed so much as a father or as a parent anymore.
Yeah.
And it kind of takes, you know, what you were used to, that routine, you know, whether it was getting their stuff ready, getting to the
getting to the training and back and all the rest of it.
And it's kind of then you feel like, well, am I needed? Am I wanted anymore? And you kind of feel like...
like at first you're like, I enjoy the break. But then afterwards you're kind of like, okay, what now?
Yeah.
How am I filling this time? You know what I mean? And trust me, I fill the time. There's no dramas with that. There's always something to do. But it's just that.
Yeah, it's interesting because then you know on the other spectrum you'd have, I'm sure other viewers out there are probably thinking, mate, what are you guys on about? Like we got the kids full time. They're in nappies. They're running around on the floor screaming and kicking, and they get no time. You know, we had those times, you know, where you run off your feet. I remember. You know, when my first daughter was so young and coming back from, you know, doing a bloody 16-hour day and you come in, you know, you're playing, you know, with them on the floor, whether it was Barbies or whatever. I remember falling asleep on the carpet because I was that wrecked.
Horsey rides.
Yeah.
Horsey rides. Yeah, jump on daddy horse ride. Oh.
Yeah, you just you got no energy, you're tired and...
That's a blur for me, like those
times.
In the 30s for me, it was just... I wouldn't say wasted. It was just a different life.
Yeah, I agree. Some of it's a blur for me as well too. As much as you remember, you know, certain memories, photos, but some of it's
like it just went.
Yeah,
like there was nothing of great importance. Does that make sense? There wasn't.
Yeah,
there was no great milestones, or there was like this crazy party that we remembered for. No. It was just like. Rocking the baby to sleep, putting milk in his mouth, and then you're falling asleep while they're sleeping, and you wake up, rinse and repeat. And then before you know it, they're walking, and next minute they're jumping off couches, you know, and next minute, you know.
Yeah, no, it's true.
It's just true. Like a blur. It's like my 30s were just a blur until I got to my 40s, and then 40s I started living again.
Yeah, because I guess it is one of those things as well too, like, you know, you're saying that you're feeling, you know, whether it's a little bit down in the dumps or whatnot, but maybe you've, it's a kind of similar scenario to where you just said, you know, with younger kids, it's a blur. Maybe that's what's happening now where you've been living, you know, alone for so long. It's becoming that mundane where maybe this is going to be, and I'm sure it's going to be awesome where you guys are going to be blended because you need another step. You need that.
I need to take that step up because the way it is at the moment, the kids are never home. I'm home by myself with a dog.
Yeah, man, because no one wants to. At the end of the day, you know, like whether you're separated or you're not, but no one, you know, like I'm sure there's people out there that do live alone, and you know, one spouse is in their own apartment and the other one, and that works for them. You know what I mean? But I guess it comes to a point where. Yeah, you're just going to be so-called dating, you know, forever.
I think as humans, because we are social beings, I think it's a natural progression to go that way.
Yeah.
And I understand how people can stay single and stay in their own routine and all the rest. I get that as well. Yeah. Because it's easy to do.
Yeah. But they don't listen to the noise. They don't listen to
but not everyone's built different.
Yeah.
You know? I mean, not everyone's built the same. So for me, I think that's, before it gets too long, that needs to be done now before I get kind of stuck in my own ways. You know, as you know, I'm very, how can I say, accommodating. So I'm not stubborn. I'll listen to what you got to say, and I'll make the adjustments if I agree that this is how it should be.
Yeah.
And I'll do it. I've got no problem with that. And I think the longer you leave that, the more stuck in the way
you're going to be.
You're going to be. So therefore, certain things have to have a certain place. I don't give a shit about that. As long as I can find the fucking remote when I need to watch the TV.
Yeah.
I don't care where you put it. As long as the beer's in the fridge.
Yeah.
I don't care if it's what fridge is upstairs, downstairs, wherever.
And as time goes on, and I used to be like that a long time ago, where you have to have the certain this or this had to be in its place, and it's kind of like as time goes on, I find myself free of that stuff where I don't care so much. Like whether the salt. On the kitchen downstairs is near the coffee pods and the sugar's there. Before, I can tell you that wouldn't have been like that. But now I don't give a shit. If the salt's, the pepper and the coffee in the pod, you know what I'm saying, the kettle, and I've got mixed herbs that's all together. And this is the truth, guys. That's how it is. Yeah. And you know what? I actually like a bit of chaos in my life like that. And I learned that a lot of that when I was living by myself. Everything doesn't have to match. Yeah. It doesn't have to be perfect. And they're little traits, if you are going through that stage in your life, it shall pass because it does, man. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you realise you get to our age, you don't give a fuck anymore, bro. I couldn't care, like you said.
It was the same. I was, you're going to ask Mark, I had to have the best, for instance, manicured lawn or, this or that. Like, who cares, bro? Yeah. You know what I mean? It doesn't matter.
There's a difference in pride and there's a difference in OCD.
Yeah. That's right.
You know what I mean? It's what you've got to just go, is that worth?
Yeah, and whether it's a topic for tonight's podcast, but that is an interesting topic as well because I guess there's men or female out there that, could be in their 50s or 55, 60 where, they might not ever have that experience of living with someone because they're happy in their own little castle, their own little world, and that is fine.
That's cool. That's for them. But
and do you think it reaches a certain point where it's not that it's too late, to move in and be a blended family? Like
I don't look. It's all personal.
Yeah.
For me, I think my time's now. But for someone else, they might be
there's
happy.
No time. There's no pressure.
It's
no
all,
time.
Yeah, it's all on basically on the two people.
Yeah.
Well, the ones that are single and are happy to stay at home and enjoy their life and.
Yeah, and I guess it's just a matter of that other person, whether it is someone a little bit stubborn that has lived by themselves for a long time, that person that they meet is, willing, not so much willing, but will kind of change.
You got to accommodate.
You've got to accommodate, and I guess get those people out of their shell where they might be a little bit sort of scared to move in with their spouse or something like that. It might be.
For the ones out there that are possibly in my situation, I'm embracing it.
Yeah.
It's just, I want to make sure it works. And I can't make sure it works. That's the thing. It's out of my control.
You know what it is, man? It's because you care. That's why you're thinking of that. Because, look, let's face it, no one wants to stuff up. Everyone makes mistakes. But you just want a smooth kind of,
I just want everyone to be happy.
Yeah.
And that's what it is. So I'm excited about it, but at the same time, I don't want anyone to be sad or upset. I want everyone to be happy with the fact that this is happening.
Yeah.
So, they're thoughts. They're just thoughts that I have. It's nothing.
Yeah.
But I thought I'd share it.
No, it's very...
Because that's how we are.
It's an interesting conversation topic. I reckon it's kind of... it's kind of helped me. It's kind of shed a bit of light because... It's kind of funny, we're talking about this tonight and they're, I guess, kind of things that I had gone through as well too. And it gives me a bit of, light on it, a bit of stimulation on it as well too. And, it's true, man.
That's how we think. And it's,
yeah.
There's nothing wrong with it. We're not,
Yeah, that's right. And I guess
I'm just voicing what these voices in my head tell me.
Yeah, I guess as opposed to he's got voices in his head. He turned 50. Yeah, no, but it's true. It's better to get it out and talk about it as opposed to just leaving it in your brain thinking. You're with your new woman and fuck, is this normal? Or what do I do? And then what's going to happen? He's going to blow a head gasket. World War Three, and your cat shitter on the carpet. You know what I mean? Like,
it's kind of like all that.
Your cat did shit on the carpet. That's why I went to Bunnings and bought a Bissell cleaner, steam cleaner. Up, thanks. Cat. Actually, you got me onto the Bissell cleaner.
Yeah, how good is it?
Yeah, that was when I moved into your place, and there was a little spill from your dog, and you were like, relax, bro. Relax, what do you mean?
It's all under control.
I've got a Bissell cleaner. Don't stress if he's done a little turn on the carpet. Mm-hmm. So that's what I mean. They're the things that if you're a bit OCD, don't sweat it.
Yeah,
don't sweat it.
That's the thing. Like,
it's carpet.
Stuff's going to happen, bro. You can always
Who cares?
I can just move on.
That's right. Life's short. Move on.
That's it. I just wanted to, you probably don't know, I just wanted 2 shout outs to, I lost 2 mates in the last, 2 workmates that known pretty well in the last month or so. So I just want to Gordo out there, rest in peace, brother, and Rod as well. Unfortunately, you boys were taken way too early. And I didn't want to sound on a down note, but I just want to shout out to those boys. Hope you're flying high up there with the Angels. And
peace.
Yeah, bro. Just one day to the next. It just happens.
Sad.
They hadn't turned 50 yet, but
yeah.
Yeah,
well, that's right. It goes to show how short life is. You don't know what's around the corner, and
just
I guess if anything, from tonight's podcast, just go with it. Just move in with your partner. Just enjoy every moment. Who cares if the salt's with the pepper and coffee
and the mixed herbs
shit. But
salt in your coffee.
Yeah, don't worry, that's happened before. But I guess my condolences, man, and we'd probably also give a shout out to a good friend of ours as well that lost his wife.
Oh yes.
So Grace,
very good friend of ours.
Good friend of ours
for 30 years.
Yep.
Yeah, taken too early as well.
So we love you, and we'll miss you, and obviously the memories are the most important thing. But I guess it's always out to the loved ones that are, grieving and missing their mother or father and whatnot. It's tough times, and I guess it's been about being there for each other and support.
That's right.
Is the most important thing.
Yeah. Don't support.
Yeah, I know it can be tough times, and we've heard of stories where things go south, and whether it's to do with money and businesses and whatnot, and it can be tough. So we're thinking of you.
Yes.
Well said.
2 dads and a mic.
Yeah.
Putting the love out there for you guys. So we'll wrap it up for tonight.
Yeah. Definitely interesting topic, and we look forward to hearing about all your blended adventures.
Yes.
Should be good. Don't worry. Next time, hopefully not in the near future, we'll be hearing some funny stories.
It's still a while,
Funny. You reckon they're going to do funny stuff there, where they're going to put Glad wrap over the toilet paper the kids, and they're going to change your toothpaste, and you'll be like real old and grumpy.
Dick and balls on my forehead or something. Yeah,
shave your eyebrows off.
I can see it. I can see it all happening now.
Yeah.
At first it'll be like, he's sleeping, just leave him.
Yeah.
And then it'll be, let's get the marker out. Let's fuck him up.
I'm sure they're going to get scared. They'll be like, there's a gorilla in the house. What's that sound coming
There's a bear wrestling a packet of chips in the next room. He's got some Smith chip. Oh, what's going on in there, Mum?
Yeah. Well, why steam come out of his mouth when he sleeps?
That's what he does when he sleeps.
Yeah.
I can't sleep.
Lucky you don't sleepwalk. I know you don't sleepwalk.
Thank God for that.
Yeah.
Imagine snoring sleepwalking. Oh,
don't worry, I've had some interesting nights with my partner where she's gotten up and she's gone missing. Like, where the hell is she? I've had some stories. Woken up and there's a chair in the middle of the kitchen, and this has been moved around, and see, these are the fun things you got to look forward to.
I remember my daughter one time. She was young, man. She must have been maybe 10 or 11. She just legged it out of the house, like.
Opened the front door
and went down the street. This is like 2 o'clock in the morning, like dead asleep. Bro.
How old?
She must have been about 10 or 11.
Oh, wow.
It was when I was living in Bexley.
Jesus.
I remember like going, why is the front door opening? What the fuck?
Your house
So
haunted.
I got up, and no, she's walking, and I'm like, Eva, yeah, no answer, like no response, and she's just walking straight out. She turned left. I'll never forget it. She walked past the church down on the corner, and I was like,
Poltergeist stuff going on.
you know how you're not supposed to wake them up,
Yeah.
but I'm like, fuck, if I don't wake her up, she's gonna wander across the fucking road. So I gently kind of turned her around, trying not to wake her, and just walked her back towards. She just walked back into her bedroom. I put her back into her bed. Fucking zonked out. I had no recollection of it whatsoever.
Wow, what did she say the next day?
She's like, what? I'm
Really?
like, yeah, you did. She's like, nah, I didn't. I'm like, you did. You were barefoot in your fucking PJs walking out the street, and I didn't want to wake you, so I just guided you, turned you around. Yeah, bro.
Yeah, see, they're interesting as well too. Imagine your new partner sleepwalks, and you're gonna have to coast her. Oh, this is the wrong way, and you're gonna have signs.
She starts peeing in the wardrobe or something.
Yeah. Mate, that's mate, you're going to feel wanted where you weren't before. When your kids are a certain age, you're going to be like, mate, I got to get her a full-time carer or something. It's like, mate, by the sound, we got it pretty easy. Like, I'm sure there's people out there that are next level stuff. So I guess when you look at it that way.
So I'll sort my snoring out.
Yeah.
I've been meaning to do it for years.
Yeah.
So we'll see how we go.
Done.
Can't have the wrestling bear with the potato chips. It's not a good sound. Well, you know I snore. Even Juzzy used to sleep down the end of the.
Yeah, I guess I kind of got used to it, even though
it put you to sleep.
He kind of put me to sleep, and it was a bit of a deterrent for me, I guess, at that time in my life. And I actually thought your snoring was a bit soothing, so I actually quite liked it. It was good. It's one of those things you get used to something, change, and people's bodies and minds adjust, and
but I got to sort it out. Otherwise, she'll be sleeping in a different room.
Yeah,
100%.
Yeah, you do. You find ways, and it's the same with me. If my partner has a little snore, just slightly move her neck and fucking move it. Fucking stop! Pillow on it. You know what I mean?
Snap it to the
left.
left.
That's right. So, we've had those conversations, and it happens. I'm sure I snore if I'm really tired too sometimes, but everyone has a weird. It's a weird sleep where either she reckons I'm a dinosaur and I sleep like this, or looks like I'm dead because I'm sleeping like this. I don't know. Sleep like that.
They're so comfortable.
Yeah. Don't touch me. But then, I've been told I give mad side kicks in bed.
You come through.
See all the things you got to look forward to. You kicked me last night.
Oh yeah. You snored so loud.
Yeah.
Couldn't sleep.
But we better wrap it up, I guess, because I'm sure if Juzzy was here, he would have told us.
Oh, he would have told us what.
Wrap it up. He's a blabbering on.
Oh, that's for you, Juzzy, by the way.
Yeah. Just giving you the bird. We had a nice dinner, and
you missed out.
Missed out, buddy. But we're going to wrap up. 2 dads and a mic.
That's it.
Yeah.
We'll see him next time. Hopefully we've got a guest, possibly.
Yeah. Done.
And
drop us a comment. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and share, and all the rest.
Yeah.
Helps out the channel, and definitely catch you guys on the next one.
Take care, guys.
See you later. Ciao. Bye.